I have no excuses. I just have a mini story. Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Neha and I have another book haul for you. Yes, so today's video is going to be a classics book haul, classic thrifted book haul. A bit of a different setting because I don't want to sit in front of my teeming bookshelves while I talk about having bought more books. So that's why I am here. I had gone for my second vaccination shot. Please get vaccinated, people, by the way. And it was on Saturday, 30th July. And Mumbai is kind of still on a lockdown. Everything is shut during the weekends, weekdays, everything is shut after 4 p.m. So I just hadn't stepped out of my house in like the longest time. So I was looking forward to seeing the outside world, and particularly going to the south side of Mumbai, which it's just one of my favorite places in the world. My vaccine experience was not very pleasant. It was horrendous, to say the least. There were just way too many people. There was too many things, cumbersome formalities to be done in that hospital. People were not really following social distancing, COVID-19 norms. So it really was not the most comfortable experience. I could not wait to get out of there. And when we did get out of there, we were passing through Flora Fountain, which is this really famous monument in South Mumbai. And right across Flora Fountain, there are a bunch of bookstalls who sell second-hand thrifted books, and also they sell like newer books. I didn't expect them to be open because, like I said, everything is shut, but they were open. To my greatest joy, I got the cab to like literally stop in the middle of the road, off to the side of course, and I got out and my day immediately looked better. Pretty much made my entire week. They sell a lot of the popular fiction and non-fiction books of the time, but most of them are pirated. They're not original, so you really have to be careful when you're picking out books from there. I avoid like the newer section. I go into the back of these stalls where they have a lot of classic thrifted second-hand books, and if you hunt there, you get a lot of good ones. Pretty much the first book I saw as soon as I entered the stall was this one. It's The Beautiful and Damned by F. Scott Fitzgerald. Something about this illustration really caught my eye. It looks so glamorous and New York jazz agey, and it is a book set in the New York jazz age. It's a little soft with age, but the back is intact. The pages are yellowed and a little aged, but that's to be expected, and they are pretty much in great form. So next book I am super happy with, which is The Mill on the Floss by George Eliot. I saw another edition of this particular book and I was a little too used, so I asked the owner if he has any other editions, and he very helpfully pulled out like 5 or 6 of Mill on the Floss. This one I really like because of this painting in the front, and it's also like not soft with age, if that makes any sense. The back is intact, it just has a few creases here and there. The pages are also pretty much in great condition. They are a little yellowed, but that's to be expected. It's provincial life set against Victorian morals and ideals. Never read George Eliot before. Really looking forward to this. I actually have 2 George Eliots in this haul, which is... The next book is this small volume, What We Talk About When We Talk About Love. This is by Raymond Carver, one of America's greatest short story writers, I think. And this is a collection of short stories, of course. It's in this really great vintage classic edition with the red spines. This looked a little suspect because the alignment here is off, but the inside looks fine, so maybe it's just like a wrongly printed copy and not a pirated copy. At least that's what I'm hoping it is. So yeah, the next one is this book. It is A Room with a View by E.M. Forster. This one is the most used of the lot, I would say. It is soft, it's a little wrinkled at the back, but the pages are again intact, albeit a little yellowed. But the reason I picked this up is because I really want to read A Room with a View. I've heard a lot of great things about this particular classic. It's kind of like the story of an English noblewoman, kind of like a young English woman who discovers herself when she goes on holiday to Italy, to Florence, yes, and yeah, sounds great. I've seen a lot of people talk about this particular classic as one of their favorites, so that's why I picked it up. Next 4 books are from my favorite stall. It's not on the main row. It's on the road. It's the other side of the road, and the other side of the road is not all bookshops. There are only 2 bookshops over there. So this particular stall is sandwiched between a juice shop and a Xerox shop, and it's just this tiny stall with books piled up to, I don't know, like 8 or 9 feet tall, and it's just the best. It's such great finds over there. Last time also I got some really great books there, and this time around did not disappoint. So I'm super happy with all 4 of these books. Let me show them to you. The first one is Chaurangi by Sankar. This is an Indian classic, and this is a story set in Calcutta. It is a Bengali translation. It's translated by Arunava Sinha. This book is set in Calcutta. It's set in one of the grandest hotels of Calcutta in 1950s. Always I see reviews of this on Bookstagram, but I always forget to kind of keep my eye out for it. But this time I remembered, and I just picked it up when I saw it, and super happy with this edition. Then I picked up Flood of Fire by Amitav Ghosh. I have an entire reading blog where I read book 2 of this trilogy, which is the Ibis trilogy. That's called River of Smoke, and this one's the 3rd and final book of the trilogy. I've been wanting to find this and add it to my collection for the longest time. I just wanted a good edition of it, and this one is great. The front is pretty much pristine, few wrinkles at the back, but the pages are also like really good. Spine's barely cracked. So really happy with this edition, and excited to get back and finish this trilogy, which is Amitav Ghosh's most famous work. The last 2 books just made the entire day for me, and again the entire week. The first of that is George Eliot's Middlemarch, the second of the George Eliots that I bought. I'm so happy with this copy. It's just pristine. Like, the stall owner actually covers a lot of his books in plastic, which is why I think a lot of them are in really great condition. So the pages are like pristine. They're not yellowed. I don't know how this book ended up in this stall, but I'm so happy that it did. The back is intact. It's just the most beautifully maintained copy, and I'm so happy to have found it. I was debating whether to buy this or not because I had a lot of books on my hand by then, but I just couldn't resist. Like, it's such a great find, and I'm so happy. And I've been wanting to read Middlemarch by George Eliot for quite a long time. So I'm looking forward to this. This is in a vintage classic edition, so I love these red spines. They look so good. And the last book for this haul is my favorite, like just my favorite, and I'm talking about Madame Bovary by Gustave Flaubert. It is a French translated book, but let's be honest, I bought it for the edition. This is an Everyman Library edition, and it's the older version, because I have one of these in the latest prints of them, a different book of course, and it's a little different, but it's again in the most pristine of conditions. The pages, these pages are a little yellowed, which is fine, but they're intact. And I didn't realize that if you remove the dust jacket on these books, the inside looks like this. Just the most perfect maroon there ever was. I'm not gonna lie, I bought this for the edition, so I'm just gonna swoon over the edition and admit that I don't really know too much about the book, so I'm not gonna pretend otherwise. So yes, and yeah, those are all the classics that I ended up buying in the Fort book market. Super happy with all of them. Absolutely in 7th heaven with a few of them, and looking forward to reading this. They are classics, so I can read them over many years. So I'm just adding to my collection, you see, is another rational reason that I'm telling myself. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Do like, share, comment, subscribe, all that jazz, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.